What was it like leaving?
So leaving, I had to go on Connor. Have you seen the movie Connor with Nicolas Cage? So Connor picks me up in Arizona, and it's federal deportation. So I'm the only gringo with a bunch of Mexicans. I can speak a bit of Mexican, Spanish at this point in time, so I'm communicating with them to the guards. I've got my role to fill again, coming in handy. This plane's going across Arizona and then California for a couple of days, dropping us off, putting us in jail cells. And then eventually, they put me on a flight from LA to London. I'm in a prison van.
Aren't you released at this point?
No.
Oh, okay.
I got released from prison to a deportation prison, and then I've got to do my Connor, because I'm banned from America for life.
Right.
So they got, with Wildman, when they deport him, they have armed guards or guards, like proper protection officers on the plane with him. But for me, I wasn't deemed dangerous. So the guard says to me at the foot of the plane, I'm going to take your chains off now. Don't try anything stupid. I'm like, no, I just want to go home, man. And then we're going to put you on a plane first so you don't scare the passengers, with the chains and everything. And then I met the cabin crew, Cockneys. And it was the first time in so many years that humans had talked to me like I was a person, like I wasn't an animal. And just hearing them talking to me like I was a normal person was just like a miracle in my ears. Get on the plane. I haven't slept in days. I'm so excited about going home. And then all the passengers get on. And after being around sweaty, hairy, crazy men, living with them for 6 years, I could smell the women's perfume. I could smell alcohol. I could smell all these other things. It's overwhelming me, but I'm also a bit institutionalized, and I put my hand up in front of everybody. I ask a female member of the cabin crew permission to go on the toilet. She's like, you don't need to ask, the toilet's like right there. I'm so used, if you're in prison transport, you've got to ask permission to go to the toilet. So, flying home, got the stupid movies on. The reason I wanted to go to the toilet was because I'd been in prison transportation. I was paranoid I was stinking. I just wanted to go and have a bird bath. In prison, a bird bath is, you just get a bit of soap and rub it in your armpits and rub it in your man parts and freshen yourself up. So, get home, get to London, breeze through customs. I thought they might want to have a word with me. My mum, dad, sister are there, and there's some videos of this on my YouTube channel as well. I'm hugging my mum, hugging my sister, they're all crying and everything. I'm all stubbled out, look like coming out of a Russian gulag or something. I got this shocked look on my face, all pale. And my sister starts showing me her phone, and I don't understand any of that, My thing was, before I got arrested, don't talk on the phones, don't go on the phones. I used the payphone for stuff, but I'd use coded words, and I wasn't hip to all this phone technology, how it advanced. They took me to Indian food right away. I ordered chicken tikka masala, my former favourite. Got the gag reflex because of the mystery meat slop, the Red Death that occasionally had dead rats in it. It was reminding me of that. And because of that, to this day, I've stayed vegetarian. At my house, first year, Mum said I'm like a puppy dog falling around the house waiting for orders. Institutionalized. So it took me a year before I moved down south. Got a public speaking agent, got a literary agent. Thank you for those guys, helping me get back on track and getting my career going. And since then, published 13 books, written a lot about Escobar. My Life Story is a trilogy. Party Time, Hard Time, Prison Time. Do over 100 talks a year, mostly to school kids in colleges and schools. Scare the living daylights out of them.
And do you?
So they won't do all the shit I did.
Is that what your talks are like?
Yeah.
Do you try to scare them?
Imagine the jail stories I've told you today.
They're heavy, Shaun.
They're on the edge of their seats. I got one kid out of Woking. She was so inspired. She went to do a criminology degree at Winchester Uni. Her family invited me to the graduation, and I've had a meal with her family. The teachers tell me the kids staying behind at the end are the hardest to reach students because they're looking at me, when they come in. I mean, drugs is the great equalizer, affects all sections. I do talks in schools like Stowe, down to inner city Manchester and London, and the gang members are looking, who is this guy like? But once they hear the jail stuff, they're on the edge of their seats, and the teachers say that they're our hardest to reach students who are getting engaged. If you go on my Twitter, all my Twitter likes is just feedback that's coming from the kids. I never know how it's going to affect everybody, but having that kid tell me she was so inspired to do a criminology degree and how that's shaped her life. Like I said, happiness isn't in your material possessions, it's in your heart and in your thoughts. And on my deathbed, am I going to look back at all the hours I spent looking at stock market numbers on my computer, or am I going to look back on the things I can be more proud of, like that kid, how it shaped her life?
Has your recollection of all this changed in the last 10 years? Do you look at it differently, or have you processed it differently?
People say I'm desensitized. I talk about extremely graphic things.
And then you laugh.
Yeah, and the laughing is actually, and I apologize to viewers who are offended by that, it's a coping and a defense mechanism. When I get nervous, these things are so intense. The laughing, it actually does change your biochemistry to make it not be as serious mentally and stressful to you. Yeah.
What do you want people to take away from your story?
Phew, so many things.
I know.
So I'm on a mission to stop the mass incarceration of low-level drug users and people with addiction issues. Writing about the war on drugs, a series of books, led me to the Clinton and Bush crime families. For Clinton, whose brother Roger got arrested in a cocaine deal and got recorded saying, "Some of this is for Bill, he's got a nose like a vacuum cleaner." For Bill Clinton, who, when he was state governor of Arkansas, and this information is coming from the people who work for him, his protectors, his state troopers, and people like Larry Nichols, who worked for him laundering the money. For Bill Clinton to lock up hundreds of thousands of non-violent drug offenders, a record amount of women, I'm not talking traffickers here, I'm talking possession, people with addiction issues, vulnerable people. For us to have these psychopaths in power and think they can get away with it, I've been on a mission to expose this and to try and stop it. And it's getting more and more momentum, and people are waking up to the fact that not only was Clinton, a sex assaulter and cokehead, he was providing security for the drug operation, the CIA, where they were bringing in the coke through Maine and Arkansas. I wrote a whole book about Barry Seal, American Made. He was flying the coke in for the CIA and weapons back out to do this war in Nicaragua illegally. And that was run by George H.W. Bush, and his fall guy was Oliver North. And Clinton was providing the state security, the cops, to protect that cocaine coming in. So for these guys to be locking all these people up and pretending to be fighting this war on drugs, utter, hypocritical, psychopathic bastards, and they need to be exposed. Because the amount of untold suffering that's caused of all those low-level drug users to fill the prisons for profits, it makes me sick.